Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Night Music Show. I am joined tonight by Mr. Howie Darkstar.
Hello.
Pastor Jay Brannan from Temecula, California.
Hey, everybody.
We also have the late Jimmy DePalma. He's with us too.
He's with us. The spirit is...
Jimmy. Jimmy?
Oh, he can't speak.
Oh, he's dead. That's right.
That's
Say
right.
something. There he is. There he is.
Like, they're going to believe it. They're going to be like, those sick bastards. What are they doing?
we were talking off camera how we did a memorial show for a guy who's still alive, and tonight we've got the guy here. So anyway, so Jim is joining us tonight, and we were talking a little bit about some of his top favorite song lists last night on our broadcast and our tribute to Jimmy on the Shucky News. So Jimmy thought it would be really cool to kind of expand those lists a little bit. I know he's been working on it today, right, Jimmy?
No.
Oh, okay.
Memory.
We'll do something else.
I'm a DJ, man. I don't use pre-prepared lists.
He reads the crowd
or sell them.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now they can talk about me too.
Yeah. Now they'll look good when they talk about you at Expo.
Yeah. What are you going to do? Become the crippled guy and the dead guy. Come on.
Wow.
Tell us more about your moral compass and personality, huh?
Right in the tchotchkes.
Yeah, no kidding. But if Jimmy's gonna lead the music thing, I'm just gonna put myself on mute and vape and drink because I'm just gonna listen and learn.
I think
because Jimmy's music world is one I can read and listen and learn from.
Well, Jimmy, tell him if he has conveniently forgotten what your number 5 top song of all time is.
Yeah. How about that?
Remember what you said last night?
Trying to think. Information.
Song that Jay likes too.
Is it? What was it? I forgot. I have so many. Don't you forget about me?
You said Lola's theme.
Lola's theme.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was actually my number 1.
Oh, was it your number 1? You kind of backwards?
Yeah, that was the first.
Oh my gosh!
Oh no, he thanked you too. He gave Brian some props on that. You weren't here, Brian.
Yeah,
I was overcome with grief and White Claw. So don't
What was so funny about?
Never got my White Claw.
The story on that I think I don't think I've ever told this quite like this, but I turned Jay onto the track.
Yep.
Through a story. It's another story for another day. But anyway. Jay kept making reference to it. And I'm thinking, he's breaking my balls, right? Because, he was serious. Good. He was dead serious. He really liked the song. Then Jimmy started doing the same thing after Jay brought it up. And I'm thinking, okay, Jimmy's surely breaking my balls. But no, he really loves the song.
Well,
but every time it comes up, it's said in a way that's like a joke.
No, it's a great song.
There's another song you turned me on to, which was SMH Makosa or something. What's that
Mocha
one?
Soul.
Mocha Soul. Yeah.
Yes. It's a great song.
It's a great song,
man.
That's one of who's our friend at Full Tilt Remix?
Oh, Marcus McBride.
It's one of Marcus's favorite songs too.
Yeah, Marcus is a great guy. He just stopped the series too, which I'm so bummed about.
Yeah.
I suggest I do suggest everybody take the time to at least maybe if you're watching a show, not live, take the time to go listen, type in songs we're talking about.
Yeah, give them a listen.
Because you're not going to hear it on radio.
You know what we've been doing, Jimmy, for the past couple of weeks? We try to make it a point on every show since we called the Tuesday Night Music Show to bring up an artist or a producer or a DJ or somebody to turn people on to, you know what I mean? Like
someone they may not know.
Yeah. We talked about Cameron Paul.
And this week it's Cameron Paul again.
Well, who did we talk about last week?
I know I brought up Larry Levan.
David Mancuso, I think.
I think it was Mancuso. It was a Mancuso, Larry Levan kind of back and forth.
We talked about them playing in the park and then the loft thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So Jimmy, do you have an artist or a DJ or someone who you think that the audience should know about that they may not know about?
Well, I mean, I'd assume everybody knows about Jelly Bean.
I don't think everyone knows about Jelly Bean.
Knows about him in the way you think they know about him.
Right.
I think they may know the name, but it's out of their
assume
wheelhouse.
Too much. We assume way too much.
Just view it as
Jelly Bean,
educational.
I met Jelly Bean at Lily's club I was working at, and they brought him in for like a track night. Like, he came in and he DJ'd there, and I guess I was his opener, and it was pretty cool. I just hung out, and unfortunately did not like the turntables. Neither did I, but we're not going to say the N word because
we'll trigger someone in the room who prefers the P word.
Yeah. Right? Because they were N turntables. Well, see, at the time there was no P turntables.
Well, then that's fine. I give you that one. But if we're going to talk Jelly Bean, should we tell the Joey Blue story?
You know what? I think before we do that, we should do a little background on this. So, our friend Joey Blue, who was a DJ in Manhattan in the late 70s, and all through the 80s, 90s, 2000s, he's now in Florida.
Yeah,
he grew up with John Benitez. They went to school together. John was a few years, or Jelly Bean was a few years older than him. But they knew each other from the neighborhood.
Yep.
And Jelly Bean became a DJ. He did a lot of the same clubs that Joey did. I believe Funhouse and 54 were some of the clubs that Jelly Bean was playing.
With Cafeteria or Danceteria.
When I interviewed him on my show, he said that he's the one that got Joey Blue into Studio 54.
Right.
Okay.
So he decides to get into producing, and he's got this girlfriend that he meets. And this is the Joey Blue story. Jay, you can tell it if you want.
So I thought he was at either Danceteria
at 54. It was at 54.
Was it at 54? Okay. Yes. So he's at 54. Jelly Bean
spinning.
Joey's DJing. And Joey's got like 100 of these stories of like the night that Michael Jackson showed up. And they gave him the vinyl instrumental of Thriller. And it's like, wait, what?
Right.
And so this particular night, Joey's DJing. Jelly Bean shows up with his girlfriend, this hot blonde, kind of crazy girl. And Joey tells it as Jelly Bean and her are making out between the amps. I guess there was
that's not the story.
No, that's the story I remember.
No, it's not. No,
and he's the first guy to ever play her.
No.
They gave him the music.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Jelly Bean comes in with his girlfriend.
Right.
Okay. Drops her off in the booth, says, "Here's your track, play your track." He goes to the business. He goes to the bar to talk to the guys, to do some business.
Right.
And a busboy comes into the booth, and the girlfriend and the busboy go between the amp racks.
That was it.
Booth and start making.
Right.
Joey wasn't making out with her.
Oh no, I didn't say Joey was. I thought Jelly Bean was.
No, I thought Jelly Bean was at the bar.
He's at the bar. Okay, so
and
Joey,
the busboy, while her boyfriend's at the bar.
Now the busboy is making out with his girlfriend.
The busboy between the amp racks,
and Joey plays her song. And technically, Joey is the very first DJ to ever play Madonna.
Yeah. Yep.
Because it was Jelly Bean's girlfriend, and he was producing.
Jelly Bean produced that entire first album.
Yeah.
Which is gold.
The first album is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
amazing.
Geez. Nile Rodgers did a fantastic job on the second one, but the first one was her breakthrough album.
No, I think this is another night, another topic, but the difference between the first and second album is sometimes light years, because you have, as we all know famously, you have your whole career to write the first album. You have 6 months to write the second.
Yeah, but Jelly Bean pretty much did that.
If I remember right, her first cut was Everybody.
Yeah, but
I think so.
She recorded it at the Danceteria.
What was the video she did where she's in the rowboat in the little river thing?
Like a Virgin.
No. There's an earlier one. Something Your Love. Is it Your Love?
Burning Up.
Burning Up. Yeah. I mean, that's the one that hit me off the first album where I was like, whoa, what is this?
Right.
Yeah, no. And so the correlation, and the thing that I think most of us know, I mean, Jimmy knows, you know, Brian, Howie, you know, a lot of people don't know, but Jelly Bean Benitez is from Utica, New York. And you'll see that theme throughout the show.
He's from Bronx.
You'll start to see this theme.
Cue the Google Earth map tour now, Jimmy. No,
Yeah, right.
don't.
You know who Madonna's first
This Burger King was once a club.
Do you know who Madonna's first band was? Jimmy might know.
Yes.
Tell us.
Yes. Right on track. Now get you back.
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Yep.
There you
I mean,
go.
she wasn't with the Breakfast Club when they did that track, but that was her band.
Well, her apartment got broken into her, and they stole her keyboard, and they stole a bunch of the band stuff from there.
I didn't know that.
Well, she's a Detroit
Yeah.
girl, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
Grand Rapids or something like that.
Oh, because I always think of her as Detroit.
It's just like Grand Rapids or
Okay.
or Lansing or something like that. I don't remember where
Right.
she's
But
from.
she's a
there.
Michigan girl.
Yeah, Michigan girl.
At least
they
had the
are,
right
I don't
state.
know.
Yeah.
I'm still a little bit shocked over the fact that someone was making out at a famous club between the Amprex. I just
With a busboy.
right.
If you've ever seen any of the 54 documentaries, the busboys are the ones that are the most
Yeah.
famous that
If
came
you're a
out of that
girl and you want to
place.
make out with
Yes.
somebody, the best
Yes,
boy's the
Eddie
last person
Murphy.
to look at.
Yeah.
Ask Eddie Murphy.
Yeah. We gotta
Remember he
call
cracked a joke
Felipe.
about the bus boys.
We gotta call Felipe one night about this.
Yeah, well, he spent a lot of time there.
By the way, side note, for those of you into heavy metal like me, the guitarist from the Busboys band is now in the Circle with Sammy Hagar, Jason Bonham, aka John Bonham's son, Michael Anthony, formerly of Van Halen, and of course lead singer and guitarist Sammy Hagar.
So
Just
Chicken Feet,
people-
is that the band?
no way.
No,
really?
Chicken Feet's got Joe Satriani, Chad
Wow.
Smith from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Michael Anthony from Van Halen with Sammy
Okay.
Hagar. The Circle is his newest thing with Michael Anthony. I can't remember his name, but he's the guitarist from what is
The
it?
Busboys.
The Busboys. 48 Hours or Beverly Hills Cop.
Boys
2.
are back in town. I don't know. I remember.
I can't remember which movie they were in, but they were in one of them.
They
Michael-
were in probably
they were
48
in one of the 48 Hours.
That
yeah,
was
that's it.
48 hours. The boys
Yeah.
are back.
And then they opened for
Yeah.
him for his Delirious tour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when he
Yeah.
said, you don't do anything around them because they will
Steal all the women.
expletive. Yeah.
Yeah.
You up?
I thought Living Color was better as far as the representation of that format, but that's just an opinion.
Oh, the band
Sold
Living
as
Colour.
a band of like, look, this band is all this. And then Living Color showed up, and I'm like, oh no, this is the one because it was.
Well,
90s. It was
when you
later
said
in the
Living
game.
Color, I'm thinking the Jim Carrey Wayans
No,
brothers.
Living Color, the
No.
band.
Yeah.
The band.
Yeah.
COLORU.
I used to love that group.
Yeah.
They were. I thought that first album was, and it got voted best Rolling Stone album of 1990.
Called the
Who the hell was the guitar
personality.
player?
Right.
Vernon
Guitar
Reed.
player.
Vernon
Yeah,
Reed.
Vernon
is the
Reed. I met
guitarist.
him.
Did you really?
Yeah, I
Oh,
got a
he's
picture.
Phenomenal.
I got a picture of Vernon Reed on somewhere on Facebook with me and him. It was funny because I was out with John Krupa at RCF. I know, was he? He was FBT at the time, and we were talking about the session work he did and some of the fill-in jobs he did. And he was talking about working with Vernon Reed. We were at NAMM one night. We were out to dinner and we were talking about it in the van. And then, like 2 days later, they're closing NAMM. I go by Gabe Scrim King. He was in the what do you call it,
The arena.
auditorium?
The arena.
He was in the arena. He's like, BSR, you got to meet this guy. He's like, do you know him? I'm like, God, he looks like so familiar. And he shorter guy,
Yeah.
He's like, is Vernon Reed from the Cover? Like,
Uh,
oh my gosh. I said, we have a mutual friend.
yeah.
He's like, really? I'm like, who's that? I said, John Krupa. Is like, oh, Krupa's awesome. And we started talking like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, guitar wise, he is a
Those
god.
are gold.
He
Those
is a
conversations
God.
are gold.
And you got to look at that for like not to derail the Jimmy show, but like we're talking 1990.
Yeah.
Like they were, and the second album
Before that, even, I think.
No, I think 90 was their first album.
88. I want to say 88 on that.
I'm going to look it up.
Look it up. I want to say 88 on that.
All right. I'll give you that. I'm
For
gonna
the
look it
Vivid
up.
album.
All right.
What do you say on that, Jimmy?
90.
No, I think.
Yeah, what do you say, Jimmy?
The album Time's Up was 90 or 91.
No, I'm sticking to my guns on this one. I'll be honest with you. I've been wrong more times than not. I realize that.
I really think that was an 88 thing.
I realize I've been wrong more times than not. Let me see what Wikipedia says. We'll go
What does
right
Wikipedia
there.
say about the release of Vivid?
Wikipedia says mainstream success. Corey Glover, guitarist. Let's see what it says for albums. Grammys, 89. Okay. You know what? I think we're both wrong. What did you say?
88 was the release of Vivid.
Well,
Is what I'm saying.
Best Hard Rock Performance, Cult Personality, Grammy for 1990. Glamour Boys, 1990.
Okay, but when was... that's not what I'm asking.
No. I know that. I'm trying to find the release date, and they're not actually giving it, which is weird. Let's see.
I'll just Google.
Oh, you know what? Billboard charts, April 1st,
Released May 3rd, 1988.
Yep,
80,
I just looked it up too. Yep, 88. You're right.
Yeah, that's what I said. 88.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course. Come on.
Of course.
Jeez, was it that old? God. Because music, I mean, as you know, you were there and I was there. Music dramatically changed in that 3 or 4 year span.
Oh my
88
God.
to 92.
There was so much fun stuff.
It switched up big time.
I mean, you had the metal stuff, but you also had the cool freestyle stuff going on that was going mainstream at the time, which is why I'm bringing it up, because Jimmy's in the room, and that's kind of his wheelhouse right there.
No,
it really is.
I will sit back and say nothing because I'm like Lisa.
Oh no, you'll be able to
Jam
contribute here.
Stevie B, and George Lamont. No. I've seen you spin, Jimmy, where you get into your freestyle, and I'm just like shazamming the crap out of it. Like, who the hell is this? Wait, I've never heard this.
Just a second.
Keep going to the vinyl wall.
You know, when he's doing that, he is in his zone. He is Jimmy Spin, and he has this look on his face, and it's like he's just nailing every transition. And I'm looking at him in awe, and I go, "Wow!" And then high five.
No, you can tell he's a great DJ, and you can tell by what he does. You can tell by the way he mixes.
I've had plenty of shoes in the dryer.
Well, you haven't shown them to us.
I've got one for you, Jimmy. I've
seen you on Twitch a bunch of times, bro. I haven't seen any boots in the dryer at all.
Nope.
There's no wrong answer here, by the way.
Okay.
But when I
expose,
when I organize my records, all right, I've got what I would consider kind of a mainstream section that I alphabetize.
Yeah.
I have a separate 70s disco section because when I'm in the mood for that, I just want to find 70s disco.
Yeah.
And I have a separate freestyle section because sometimes I'm in the mood for that and I don't want to, have to thumb through every record just to find freestyle records. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah, because it's vinyl.
Right. Well, it's one physical.
Well, and Brian has 3,000 freestyle albums.
Well, hold on a second. I've got a record here, and I'm not sure if I want to put it in mainstream or freestyle. You tell me where you would put it.
Okay.
Star Point.
Object of my desire. Is that freestyle or mainstream?
Boom.
I would put that in R&B.
I don't have an R&B section. It would be mainstream.
Now you do.
He has music and freestyle, Jimmy. That's all Brian has. Freestyle, Prince, and music.
That's not freestyle.
I thought it worked well within freestyle sets, though. I know it's not freestyle, but it worked really well with freestyle.
Yeah.
But think of it this way, Brian. Now you have one record in R&B section.
All right, but take that song and put it up against anything by Shannon, and it doesn't sound remotely close.
No, but if I take that song and I put it up against Seduction to make a thing go right, they kind of make sense together.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I guess.
And that's why I was thinking that. So anyway, sorry.
That's cool. By the way, the female member of that group was a DJ locally here.
Oh, was she really?
In Greensboro. Yeah, she was on
Wow.
WQMG.
I mean, this is an old band.
97.1.
I'd say old band, not meaning they were really that old,
80s.
but I know they were active in the 70s too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
they were a band.
That's how, if they weren't active in the 70s, they wouldn't have had a career in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. And can we at least save some time tonight? Because last night I got turned on to a song that Brian knows, Howie knows, Jimmy knows. I didn't know. I've never heard it before in my life.
What?
Pleasure, Bouncy Lady.
Oh.
Nothing. I got Zip.
Yeah.
And I'm like saving it on YouTube. I'm like, oh, this is pretty dope. What is this? But, you know, I'm going down that rabbit hole lately too. I just did a Twitch set that was all like, you don't know these songs. Because I didn't know them. I went to lists and I was like, oh, this is awesome. So I want to make sure we have time, Jimmy, where you just give us, do you guys know this? So people can go on and, like you say, pause the video, open a second YouTube page, and search that video link, find it, and be like, "Oh, damn, this is dope."
Bouncy Lady is a grab from Jazzy Jeff. All right, Jazzy Jeff used it in, with Fresh Prince, and it's been around a while. All right, but it's got that. On a whole, it's kind of cool song, but it's got all these little bits of elements, and then you pull them together, and you, especially with the technology we have now, it's a piece of gold.
Yeah, a lot of breaks.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing. I talked to A-Track about 3 years ago, hanging out we did a camp thing for kids, learning how to DJ. I had a week away in a camp, and he was the performer, and we started talking. I said, hey, I saw you at the opening for Guitar Center. He opened for Anderson .Paak. And I said, I Shazammed your set. And man, what an eye-opener. Like, I didn't know grammatics. I didn't know this. He goes, oh, I post all my songs. You do? He goes, oh yeah, go to this site. You can see everything I play, because I want people to see this music that they don't know. And I think there's a trend now for bigger DJs to express themselves and then let you know the secret sauce. Because I mean, when you started DJing, Jimmy, you were the vinyl guy. Did you ever put tape over the name? Did you ever white things out?
Yeah, I've soaked labels.
It was a game. And now with the technology, as you say, it's wow. How do I get my hands on stuff that nobody else has? It's almost gone back to crate digging in a way.
Soaking labels is something that started back in the 70s, dude. Cool Herc did it.
Well, they're very competitive in that neighborhood.
Can I be honest here? I'm using modern technology to catch up with you guys, like Jay or Jimmy doing a Twitch set, and I'm like, what is this? And I look it up, and then it's like, oh, and then when Brian talked about Lola's theme, I'm like, oh, well, I have to buy this. Now everybody has it but me. I got to get it, so.
You'll never play it. It's just cool song.
Oh, and by the way, I did chill set the other night.
I play these things for Lori, and we
oh boy, here goes the pizza night thing.
No, we truly enjoy the music. It's just, it's fun. It reminds me of the old days when you used to get together with people and everybody got different albums. What do you got? And you just sit around.
Oh, do you guys know this?
Well, Howie, do you remember when you put my set on your computer?
Yes.
You probably have Lola's theme.
Yeah, probably.
So just search.
Well, now I have two of them because
he just bought it.
I went out and bought it.
And I played this. I think I played it for you, Brian, but I played it the other night. I did a chill set, like down tempo chill, And I have a version of Lola's theme that they put out, Shapeshifters released.
Right.
It's like 110 BPM.
They were doing that whole thing with,
and it's called Chill. It's Lola's theme, Chill. Yeah. And it's absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, I've heard it. It's really good.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. And I played it and people were like, what in the, and it, luckily, you know, the friendship with Brian, Johnny Taylor, the original, What About My Love?
Yeah.
I just got that, or I've actually had that, and that's going into a set I'm doing either tomorrow or Thursday.
Nice.
Of like older R&B style tracks where you hear it and go, man, wait a second, what the hell is this?
Right.
Like, this is Lola's theme. No. This is the original, you know?
Right. Mm.
Jimmy, what's your favorite song style? Like category?
Genre.
Is it freestyle? Is it funk? Is it hip hop? Is it R&B? What brings you the most joy?
Like different things for different situations, so I can't. That would be asking me, you know, I'm a fat kid. Asking me what my favorite cookie is. I like them all.
Well, what about if you had to do a set tonight? If I showed up at your house tonight with gear and I said, hey, you're going to spin a set, what's the set going to be?
Probably 70s and 80s R&B. It's my wheelhouse. That's where I started out with old hip hop and a combination of old hip hop and R&B.
Jimmy goes deeper into the break style
like May.
Oh yeah,
Frank Beverly and Mays. You know, like what's her name? Even, you know, like of course, you know I'm going to play Tom Tom Club.
Oh yeah,
Genius of Love.
Anything off the first album. Yeah.
Well, that's what got us in trouble with the venue manager when you filled the dance floor with that 70s and 80s set you pulled. She's like,
yeah.
Can you ask them to sit down, please?
No, we can't. They're dancing.
No, I always listen. I played nice.
Sit down either.
I played nice. I even, you know, I slowed it down. I gave them sleepy. Gave them go to sleepy music, and they still wanted to dance.
You couldn't help yourself. You had that. You were in a groove, and you had that
the funny thing was, afterwards, when we knew that no matter what I did, it didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
I went for broke. I just played whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted.
Yeah.
You know.
So I want to. You go ahead. No. Go ahead.
And that's when you have your audience eating out of the palm of your hand. There's no greater high.
No, I agree.
Ever. 100%. Listen, I tried playing guitar, tried playing drums, tried playing keyboard. I knew that I would never get proficient enough to be a headlining musician anywhere. All right. I just didn't have the eye-hand coordination. But I watched mixing. All right. I remember when I first went to my first, it wasn't a high school dance. It was a party at the YMCA, or not YMCA, the YWCA. All right. And Bryson and all those guys were there with their, you know, their turntables and everything. And I just sat there and watched, and I wasn't creepy about it. You know, I wasn't like standing over them like that. Just watched, sat in a corner. I'm like, okay, making mental notes.
Yeah. Soak it in.
Yep. Soaked it in like a freaking sponge, dude. I'm like, okay, so that's what I got to do. And every day they eventually accepted me because I started out by coming up to them with pause button tapes where you take a little bit, use the pause button to add edits,
right,
and little bits and pieces of songs, but you did on beat. You'd wait and let the button go right on beat, and then you would do like you could do echoes just by keep repeating a little thing, and I would put all kinds of little blurps together, and basically I did a low-fi version of what the Latin Rascals were doing.
Yeah.
Because the Latin Rascals were doing it with tape, and they were actually getting in there with the razor blade and cutting it. It was almost the same damn thing.
Well, hey, you know what? I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So the first thing, before I do that, I want to rewind a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's something we didn't mention about Jelly Bean Benitez that I think is probably a good thing to mention. He is the main program guy, and his station is Studio 54 Radio on Sirius XM. That's Jelly Bean Benitez.
Yeah.
Who runs that station. So that's a Jelly Bean tidbit that we didn't get out there. He's still doing that actively. The other thing that I just saw, because I pulled the screen up and I was looking for that Living Color album release, which I was dead wrong on, by the way. It was 1988. It's not whatever I said. But I noticed who one of the producers was of that album. Do you know, Jay? Mick Jagger.
For real?
Yeah.
Well, you know where that makes sense? They opened for them on that tour. Yeah. He had seen, I think Mick Jagger, the story as I recall was that Mick Jagger had seen them at like the Bottom Line or some other little New York club and been
it's like you saw Prince. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You not only need to open for us, if you look, I think Vernon Reid and maybe somebody else played on Mick Jagger's solo album in that area too.
With Just Another Night on it and all that stuff. And
it could have been, yeah. But there was that tie-in of, this is the beauty of music back in the day where big artists would go see little bands and either jam with them or at least be like, make a mental note. Like, I like this. The famous David Bowie at the, what is it, this in Switzerland, Montserrat, the jazz festival. And David Bowie played the same year that Stevie Ray Vaughan was booed off stage and was like, whoa, this guy's amazing. I need to get him to come into the studio with me, and brought him in to do Cat People and Let's Dance and a few other things. And there's that, I don't hear about those stories anymore. Granted, COVID and all that, but still, I don't think there's that attitude of famous people being able to go to little clubs anymore and see what's actually churning out. I think South by Southwest in Texas, in Austin, is probably the only area that comes up anymore where somebody really small can get.
Right.
Well, we talked about Los Lonely Boys last week. That was one of the groups that I threw out there. And Willie Nelson had seen them in Texas and said, I like these guys. I'm going to hire them to open for me on tour.
Right.
Like, really? Wow. Well, I think he might be a producer.
I was doing that because it was stuff that I didn't get out earlier. But what I really wanted to ask Jimmy about, because I don't know a lot about it, but Jimmy knows about it. Tell us about Latin Rascals, because they were producers in New York doing all the Latin hip hop stuff back in the early days.
Yeah.
Tell us about them.
Well, basically what they did was they took bits and pieces of music, and basically they didn't use turntables. They used literally tape in a splice box. You're slicing and splicing. They'd have loops and all kinds of, and it was amazing, because if you knew how much work it takes to do that, holy crap, it was just like amazing. Well, I mean, there'd be like in a 1 minute section of song, there had to be 50 or more edits easily.
Yeah. And this is,
Okay. We still here? Eddie D lock up?
I'm here. I think Howie locked up.
Howie locked up.
Hey,
I wish I could do that all the time.
Having to do that today.
There he is.
Oh, there he is. He's back.
You locked up, Howie.
You locked up.
I go. I wish I could do that.
And that was all we heard.
And it looked like your avatar. You just like that smile. You're like, oh, like.
Oh, did you miss the part about they actually used machinist calipers when they were making those tape loops? Because you have a piece of tape and it was very expensive. They use these because you had one shot, to get it right.
They use markers too, and what they would do is they'd run it over the head back and forth, and they'd mark it with the bang, put it down on the splice block, put a 45 to it. Yeah. If you want a fade splice, if you want the music to fade, you did a 45 and taped across it. If you want just a cut, you do a 90.
That's a nice trick.
Yep.
Nice.
I learned that one in radio production.
And this is on 2-inch tape.
Yeah, the splice blocks did. It's like a miter box for wood.
Okay.
They would have a 45 and then they would have a straight cut, like Jimmy said.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've seen on 2-inch where they mark it with a white chalk mark.
Yep.
Then cut it with like a razor that comes down, and then put it into each other, put a piece of tape over it, wind it back, and then play it back over. And I'm like, really? This is how it was done? Like, it's amazing.
It took a long time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was very difficult.
They did a crazy amount of remixing up until it looks like 2017.
Yeah.
And some of the things that they did, just to give you an idea, they were the ones who remixed Duran Duran's Notorious. That was them.
Whoa.
Okay. Some of the people they've worked with, I'm looking here, Alternate, Deborah Cox, Debbie Holiday, Jennifer Holiday, Anastasia. They did some stuff with her. Michael Jackson, Gloria Estefan, Expose. Let's see who else. Selena, Gloria Estefan, Celine Dion, Jordan Hill, Barry Manilow, George Michael, Whitney Houston, Real McCoy, Kenny G, Cyndi Lauper. The list just goes on and on. They've worked with.
Why don't you just say everybody?
Yeah.
Well, they've done remixes for a lot of these folks, and some of the stuff may have been the stuff you heard, may have been the single stuff. You don't know, but I mean, so that may have been another. But they did a lot of remixes for these people, like official remixes.
And another monster is Shep Pettibone.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Shep Pettibone.
Some of my favorite remixes of what I call, like, I guess around the late 80s, mid to late 80s. He was the one who did all that George Michael stuff with Hard Day. That was him. That was amazing.
Yep.
Now, you know that I'm going to be watching this and pausing and writing down these songs and then buying them. You know that's going to happen next week.
The Shep Pettibone of Hard Day by George Michael is one of my favorite George Michael songs. And it's on the album Faith, and it's really good. And it says Hard Day, the Shep Pettibone remix. And it's right next to the album version, which stood a lot to be desired. And he just knocked it out.
Well, you remember it's kind of like that in between, not quite disco, but not quite dance music, and it's songs like Must Be the Music, and Secret Weapon, and all that on that Prelude label. That came out was done by Shep Pettibone.
Oh, really?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
See, I think, Howie, for you and I that aren't as entrenched as Brian and Jimmy are, the learning lesson here is it's not only about the remixer, it's about the producer, the label, because they come from, and I'm the first to admit, I started my DJ career in the mid 90s. So I, came in the door with CDs. We already had music. It was my job to go backwards, not forwards. These guys started when you were looking for, oh, what label? Oh, it's on this label. Oh my God, I love that label because that's this producer and these artists and these background artists. And it's a different cultivation of sound.
Well, Jimmy can tell you probably
for Jimmy and Brian.
When you go go crate digging or even look at new records for so long, anything on cutting records, you just grabbed it.
Alsaf Nyafish.
Yeah.
All right. I'm like, what the hell's this shit? Right.
The soul, like, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, when am I ever going to play this?
Early electro freestyle.
Because I was DJing for breakdancers.
Yep.
So I was always looking for something hot and fresh to keep them energized.
Yep.
There was like little known songs like Murder Rock. You name it. Man Parrish.
Hip hop bebop and all that stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to be pausing this video too, Howie. Don't worry.
You're
not alone.
Man
I'm not alone. Thank you.
Here's the funny thing is Madonna tried to throw Man Parrish behind her like like he was the opening act and she was the one that was the opening act.
Madonna opened for Man Parrish
at Studio 54.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a Man Parrish talks about it on there's a bunch of videos on YouTube where he talked about his experiences and all that. You'd be surprised what's out there.
Oh, there's all kinds of neat stuff. You just got to know what you're looking for to find it.
That's the challenge. That's the challenge.
Yeah, so you just got to check stuff out.
By the way, Howie, just to deepen your homework, I'm going to throw Hex Hector in there. Just look up Hex Hector for remixes. Because if you're into this stuff, I think you'll find that a lot of the artists that Brian mentioned under the Latin Rascals. Hex Hector did a lot of remixes for them too. Especially like Anastasia and just some really, really crazy good stuff.
But if you go back and you watch anything on YouTube for Latin Rascals, they talk about the type of music that they do as Latin hip hop, which is what I always called it before everybody on YouTube started yelling at me and say, it's freestyle. Like, no, that was a band.
It was both.
Right.
It really was both.
I didn't know what it was till Brian pointed it out. I'd never heard of Latin.
Then you got stuff.
It's very different today. Yeah.
Then you have stuff like, if you get the chance, look up Pieces of a Dream, Mount Airy Blues.
Oh, God. Hey, I think we're going to have to start a GoFundMe page for Jay and I because
we're your downloads.
Gonna need for downloads.
just to get new music.
Just not for nothing.
We promise we're not going to spend it on drugs, just music.
No, not drugs.
But not
White Claw, but not drugs.
A lot of this stuff you can't buy, dude.
Right.
You can't buy a lot of this stuff.
All right.
Exactly.
Well, Jimmy, do me a favor.
Yeah.
Give me 5 songs that DJs probably don't have or know that they should.
Oh, good one.
Oh, wow.
Good one.
Oh, that would be cool to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because if they get those 5, they can then find 5 more like them and 5 more and 5. Like you give somebody one artist and they go, oh, this is awesome. Oh, other people like this and this.
I'm gonna go simplistic.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Big beat.
Yes.
Dum diddy drum, diggy diggy drum. You know the Run DMC?
Yes.
That's where Big Beat.
You talking about Billy Squire?
Billy Squire, Big Beat.
Yep.
All right.
Ultimate.
Now, are we talking about breaks?
Just anything. Any cool song that they may not know.
Anything. Oh, wow.
Like we're talking about Man Parrish, hip hop, bebop. Yeah. Most people don't know that song.
No, I didn't know that song.
No.
Just give us 5 songs and we must have to
must have in your catalog.
Because we're already up to like $600 worth of music.
You're all gonna cringe. This one song, Paul Hardcastle,
Rainforest. Beautiful song.
Whoa.
Okay.
It's
Look at
Like
those two.
that's a
Look at
great
those
one
two.
to give.
Hey,
it's-
look at those two.
Yeah.
We're left out here.
No, I actually do know that one.
Oh, you
I don't
did
have
know?
it, but I know it through Brian.
Yeah.
because Brian's brought it up 8,000 times.
He's got a real funky one too called Pig Bag worth checking out.
Yeah. Uptown Baby, I'm Losing You.
Nope.
And you gotta have the big siren version that sounds like an air raid, like we're about to get bombed. And because what you do is you I never say overdrive speakers. Overdrive them a little for that one. Just push it. Push it.
Push it real
Okay.
good.
And then, it's
Back to Cameron
like,
Paul.
yeah, just push and then back it off a little bit after. But for, it's okay to let it go into red a little bit. Just as long as you don't live there.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
Bring
Yeah.
it back to unity after you've made your statement. And just slide it back.
Is that what you're calling it? A statement?
It's a power statement.
It's not a
That's
bug, it's a
great.
feature. It can be if you use it right.
It's an emotional hook. Let's call it that. It's an emotional hook. Because
I get that.
and you know what? It might not even apply to any of these kids, young people today, because they didn't grow up with air raid, and practice, where we all did bomb. You remember that they used to do it a couple of times a year. They'd set off the air raid sirens, and everybody had to hide because of a nuclear bomb. They had to take that you went out. Yeah, we were under the desk or
Under the
a lot
desk.
of times was they
Duck
also
and
had
cover.
to go out in the hall. Yeah.
Howie does because he was there when it actually happened.
Yeah,
so
I know.
Howie, this is this
I-
trigger.
This is not a
Right.
drill kind of stuff.
And a helmet.
How,
I'm just
how,
saying.
how he was swabbing the deck down in the Cuban thing, telling looking over the captain, at the Bay of Pigs, all that.
His snacks were MREs. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I know, right?
They were. They
Yeah.
were. And they were already 30 years old. Yeah.
He has a decoder ring.
But like I'm finding on Twitch now, I'm not going to get on and be like, "Hey, here's the brand new house tracks," because that's like whatever. I don't know the tracks, and it's not my thing. What I love is going backwards and going.
I'm ready,
Here's
Jimmy.
a bunch of 73 jazz.
There you go.
I'm ready.
What in the hell is that?
Just tinfoil hat.
Okay.
I'm ready.
The aliens can't get through
They,
him. Brain
they
wave.
won't get me. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah.
I've read that in the New York
They-
TV's handbook.
They already plucked you. You're
Yeah,
you're done. You
Well,
got nothing left.
Give us
You
two more
got
tracks,
nothing.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Give us two more.
All right. Oh man. My favorite, my personal favorite is "Outstanding" by the Gap Band.
And the 12-inch version. You got to
Yes.
play the 12-inch version.
Yes.
Why are we here, Howie? Why are we
Nothing.
even on the show?
The
I
single,
don't even know what I'm
the
doing.
single's
here.
okay, but the 12-inch version is magical.
It is.
By the way, the
Yeah.
12-inch version is what Brian's talking about. For those of you that aren't
it makes
clear,
a difference, doesn't it, Jimmy?
Absolutely.
that's what she said.
Absolutely.
The intro on that extended version is just golden.
Yeah. Yeah.
And back in
it's
those days, they would make separate recordings of things, so they wouldn't take a
Check your
single
phone.
and like extend
Yeah.
it with computers and loops.
No, it was
They
a
would say,
whole performance.
come in and play it again, but play it longer.
Yeah.
And that's what was
exactly.
so cool about that particular single. They just did a better job on it, on vocals and everything, I think.
There is not a finer, simple two-step chill
Yeah.
song to enjoy on the dance floor.
I love
with a
driving to that
beautiful- With a
song.
beautiful woman, with friends just hanging out. It don't matter.
That's a Cruise the
just-
Boulevard song. Just
I'm
boom.
getting
It is.
ideas here. I'm getting
Boom,
ideas
boom,
here, and you know where
Yeah.
I'm going, Jay.
Oh,
Right?
it's a
Yeah,
beautiful.
how does that song work
It's
with
a
pizza?
Saturday night song with pizza. Yeah.
I'll tell you what. When the
Hey.
broadcast is over, we'll play it.
I just love the fact that for those of you that don't know this, and I do, and I'm sure Brian, Howie, and Jimmy know, Lori's actually here. It's not like this is all like some secret subversive thing going on. She's right there. I can see her on the screen.
Yes. And, this is live right now, but when they see it, it won't be. So.
They won't know. Yes.
Right.
I interrupted you because you were one song. I asked for two more songs.
Yeah, I got one more.
One more.
See, it hurts. It hurts to be only one song. All right. Let's see.
It was two more.
Yeah.
No.
But I'm just saying stuff that DJs today don't have and don't know. That if they get that song, they can find other songs.
I have a guilty pleasure.
Okay.
I have a real guilty pleasure from the 90s. All right. It's a song called Dirty Cash.
Yes, Adventures of Stevie B.
Adventures of Stevie B.
Great song. I got a couple of different 12 inches of that back there.
It's
freestyle. Stevie B is totally freestyle.
Stevie V.
No, Stevie
V.
Adventures of Stevie
V. Yeah, it's like what would you call it? Euro house.
Yeah, it's like energy house stuff.
Yeah, energy house.
Yeah. Great tune.
Of course, I'm gonna give you Use It Up, Wear It Out, which is the gayest song ever, but I love it. All right. Let's see. Have a Drink on Me by Tule. Very hard to. It's just so mellow. It's just, yeah. I could listen to it going down the street, cruising along. I could listen to it on our way to the club, and yeah.
So it's a pump up song, or
it's just there's certain songs that we all hear that aren't necessarily monster hits,
right?
But they make the little hairs in your ear just go, I like that. I like that a lot.
Like, what's your take on Albie Sher, Night and Day?
It's okay.
Yeah. Does anybody know where the Gap Band is from?
Wow.
Anybody know where the Gap Band is from?
They're from Utica, or they're from Unica, New York, I think.
Unica.
I was surprised.
You're so damn mean.
I just looked this up the other day because I didn't know.
I would say Detroit.
They're from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Seriously?
Yes. Yes.
Wow. I did not expect that.
They're from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Philly, Detroit, Chicago.
They moved to California, of course, but yeah, I couldn't believe it either. I was like, really? Wow. I lived in Oklahoma. Never heard boo about it.
I was going to say, you were there. Of course, at 7 or 8 years old, you weren't really in the market yet, Brian.
Well, I think by the time I moved there, they had already kind of moved to Cali. But they're from Tulsa, Oklahoma. They're brothers from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Did you go to Cali after Oklahoma?
No.
So you went from
Indiana,
Cali,
California, Oklahoma here.
Okay.
So I moved to Oklahoma in February of 1980. Then we moved here in July of 83.
7 or 8. How old? No, you were 10.
I was 8 when we left California.
Okay.
Can I do one thing?
Yeah.
One thing that I definitely have to do. I have to give credit because I didn't get knowledgeable and everything, about every bit of music that I know right now and everything I know about DJing without having some people in my lives.
Don't embarrass me, Jimmy. Don't name me, please.
Yeah, just leave Howie out of it.
Like I wasn't going to. I was actually going to talk about this other guy.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
First, Danny, my friend Danny. We've been friends. He was my best. Yeah. He was my best man. I was his best man in his wedding.
That's awesome.
And we've had an incredible career together since 1987. And weaved in and out of each other's lives.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, a really nice guy. And he has a radio station currently that and it's contemporary Christian. I do like that a little bit. I don't I don't try to mix the two too much, but it is what it is, and I just have to nod to it.
Sure.
He was all right. Danny started in radio and when he was 14 with a provisional license, and that was not when you had to just sign the little tan card. No, this is when you used to actually have to take the engineering test. When you knew, how we could go into how long that takes, but we don't got time.
To know Morse code, and
you got to know everything about power glides when when the sun comes up and the sun goes down and all that, and AM radio and stuff. But moving along, my DJ Bucky. Bucky was my DJ partner for the longest. Also, my friend Ronnie was, we were always back and forth trying to one up each other. Mark McKenzie, DJ Mark McKenzie, mix master. All right. Of course, Bryson left. He's already up there. I'm going to eventually join him. All right. He already departed.
We all are, Jimmy. We all are.
He was Bryson just had this craziness about him that he had an inner smile that just made you laugh. All right. And he was the one that actually, when I was just this weird little chunky white kid that just wanted to hang out with the brothers and learn about music. Well, guess what? They let me in.
It's always cool when somebody lets you. Yeah.
They let me in. I got to sit at the table with all the DJs, and Bryson, a couple of times we went to his house. It was right up from the school and mixed during lunch. All right. He was a jam, man. And, of course, Jerry, him and I were always going at it. We worked together a lot of years. I mean, a lot of years. At JJ's, you name it. We were all over. We'd go everywhere. New York, wherever it was, we were going. Him and we had a good time. I feel sorry if I forgot anybody.
Well, don't worry about it. And this is why I'm going to say
you'll be back in a year, Jimmy. Don't worry about it.
This is the question that I've got for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Providing you're not busy, like dead or something, next week, will you come back and join us?
I'd love to, man.
I think we should.
I'd love to.
You're going to be kind of like.
Hey, Brian. Yeah. I don't want to break the rules, and I have to talk to my agent.
Sure.
But I don't know if moving forward, since I already called this year, I said 2022, I want every show to have a music artist vibe thing.
Yeah.
I'm seriously thinking moving forward every Tuesday, I would like to propose that we bring Jimmy in on every show and have him give a perspective musically on what we're talking about and add, because I think he's got a lot of artists in his head that after 52 shows, he'd still have more artists. So maybe
I just invited him back.
No. I know you did, but I'm now formally saying, because I'm the one making the most money.
I'm down with it.
I'm saying because I'm the guy with the biggest contract. I know you get $20.
We could call this Survivor and people leave in the comments. Okay,
I'm just saying I'm getting, my new contract. I don't know about you, but I'm at about $1.5 million an episode.
Jimmy's gonna be back with us next week, and
one of these days,
this shirt is very expensive.
I might even put on a shirt so you don't got to look at a still picture of me.
Well, the audience isn't seeing anything.
Oh, okay.
They only see it if your camera's on.
Now I'll talk to you after the recording, Jimmy, and I'll show you how you can be on camera without being on camera.
I tried doing that, by the way, Howie. I tried loading a video and it wouldn't load a video. So
Yeah.
Maybe
If you want to do the
maybe
Pee
I
Wee
need to
Herman
upgrade
thing,
it.
maybe Jimmy could be that head in the box, like the Pee Wee Herman, like when he would open the box. We could have
Yondo,
that.
or whatever his name
Yeah,
was.
whatever the name was.
I'll make it happen that your picture is up next week.
Awesome.
I'll make it happen.
Let's end it
Awesome.
there. Let's end
Yeah.
it there. Thank you
Works
for
for
joining
me.
us
Yeah.
this week, Jimmy.
Thank
And,
you.
A
so
new
much.
show.
Thank you, Jimmy.
The Tuesday Night
Thank
Music
you.
Show plus Jimmy. It's kind of like
Yes.
Billy Preston on the Let It Be album. It'll be really cool.
Ooh.
Oh, you went there, huh?
I did.
You went there.
I did. The Beatles are bringing in
Nice.
another member.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll see
The
you next
fifth
week,
member.
guys. Thank you so much for watching.
Thanks, everybody.